set up and we're good to go. All right. Just doing all the final checks, making sure everything's good. Looks like we're good to go. All right, guys, we are doing another game night. We're going to do the same stream as earlier and one more today, where if you're the first person to guess what I am making. Hey, Richard Green, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, Javier, hey, welcome back. All right, guys, we are doing game night again, where if you get a point, if you're the first person to answer correctly, you get a point, you enter the scoreboard. And if you get the most points in one day and you're not already on the Hall of Champions, you will enter the Hall of Champions. One person will enter the Hall of Champions every single day. So if a Hall of Champion got first, I will pick the person with the next amount of points. We are also now keeping track of the highest score in one stream, which was Javier Goatman with 32. However, as of the last stream, Phantom is now in the lead with 42. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and kick it off. The first person to correctly tell me what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Anissa, welcome back. Hey, no problem, Anissa. Anissa was the most recent introduction to the Hall of Fame. Well, welcome, welcome, guys. First person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Skateboarding all week. That sounds pretty fun. It is not a bow. Phantom, welcome back. Coming back to beat your old record. Not a shark, not a shark. All right, guys, here it is. Here it is. Oops. Falls off a little bit. It is a swan. Correct, correct. All right, let me go ahead and add Phantom to the scoreboard. Phantom, welcome to the scoreboard. All right, continuing on to the next one. Gonna beat your own record. All right, Phantom, I like it. Phantom, you do have the high score of the stream of 42. You do have the high score of this stream. All right, guys, first person to correctly guess what I'm making will earn a point on the scoreboard. It is not a bee. Ah, Phantom already with it. It is a mouse. It is a mouse. My God, that was fast. All right, we're going to move on to Blurt right after this since we already have players in. Let me go ahead and finish the mouse so that way new players can see what the mouse looks like. It is a mouse. That is correct. And Phantom, you're going to go ahead and get the point. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and play Blurt. The first person, all right, Blurt is where I'm going to read two definitions to words. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a long vehicle with seats for many passengers. The second definition, a body temperature that is higher than normal. AFK Travels, welcome. Bus is correct. Bus is correct. The second definition, a body temperature that is higher than normal. All right, who can get it? The second definition is a body temperature that's higher than normal. All right, while you guys are trying to think about it, nope. Yes, it is fever, correct. Let me go ahead and add you guys to the scoreboard. All right, bus was the correct first answer, and the first person to say it was Richard Green. Richard, welcome to the scoreboard. And Richard and Phantom are on the scoreboard, and they're already in the Hall of Fame. Now, fever was the correct answer for the second. Let me see who said fever first. That was Javier. Welcome to the scoreboard, Javier. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt, where the Phantom. This is the Webster's dictionary definition, so we're just going off of the card. Body temperature is higher than normal. As you might be right, we're just going to give it to the car. What is on the card, and definitions do change over time, though. So, all right, guys, we're going to play Blurt. Well, this is where I give the definition to two words, and the first person to give me the correct definition for either of these words on this card will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a crawling animal that has a long, narrow body covered with scales and that has no legs. The second definition, waste food and trash from a kitchen. It is not a lizard. A crawling animal. It is a snake. Congrats, Phantom. Oh, welcome back, Chris Kitts. It is a snake. The second one, waste food and trash from a kitchen. That is not leftover. And on my screen, the first person who said snake was Phantom, so I'm going to give Phantom the point. Garbage is correct. Garbage is correct. All right. Chris Kitts, let me add you to the scoreboard. Welcome. All right, guys, we are going to play another round of Blurt. Oh, just dropped my marker. All right, guys, next round of Blurt. Next round of Blurt. Hello, Hong Kong. All right, guys, we're going to play Blurt, where I'm going to give you the definition to two words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a male parent. The second definition, a large white or gray mass of very small drops of water or tiny pieces of ice floating in the sky. Father is correct. And on my screen it shows puddle is not correct. A large white or gray mass of cloud is correct. All right, it looks like on my screen both answers go to Phantom. All right, another round of Blurt, another round of Blurt. A small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it is the first one. The second one is a blood vessel that carries blood to the heart from other parts of the body. Vein is correct for the second one. The first one is a small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. It's not an artery. Vein was already correct. The first one was a small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. I'm going to go ahead and give Phantom the point for vein, but one more point can be given out for the other word. A small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. It is not a muffin. It is not a walnut cake. Heart to body is artery, body to heart is veins. A blood vessel that carries blood to the heart from other part of the body. Heart to body is artery, body to heart is veins. Chris Kitts, I am not in the medical field. I am just going off of what this card says. You may be correct. I will be checking after. And if you are correct and this is wrong, then I will be screening. Okay, you heard wrong. But I should probably still be screening some of these cards because I know one of the games I have does have inaccurate information. So I had to screen that and throw it away. All right, guys, come on. Somebody's going to get it. Oh, no problem, Chris Kitts. No problem. It is good, though, to call that stuff out because sometimes these games aren't edited. They're edited by humans. So it's not banana bread. It's not fruit cake. A small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. Who's going to get it first? Who's going to get it first? This is a funny one. This is fun that you guys aren't getting it yet. This is kind of interesting. Reread question, please. A blood vessel that... Oh, I'm sorry. That was the wrong question. A small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. It is not a pie. It is not a protein bar. It is not a Kit Kat. A blood vessel... Oh, I keep reading the wrong one. It is not Snickers. A small, chewy chocolate cake that often has nuts in it. And this is the Webster's Dictionary definition of this word. The first person to correctly tell me will get a point. I think I'm going to put some time on the clock. I'm going to put 10 seconds on, and if nobody gets it, I'm going to read it out, and nobody will get the point. It is brownie. It is brownie. Brownie is correct. It is brownie, Phantom. I swear, once I start that time, you guys end up getting it. All right, guys, we're going to read the next blurt card. This is where I'm going to give you the definition to 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on... You said brownie in your first one. All right, Richard, hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back, because sometimes it does go back. Richard, I do not see that you said brownie. I'm reading all of your answers, and I see father. I see rocky road. I see tricky this one. Yeah, Richard, I am not seeing that you said brownie anywhere. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me go back. I will double check. I always double check. I like to be as fair as possible. Guys, I do not see brownie. I only see the brownie the one time on my screen. I will be adding the chat up here in the next week so that way you guys can see exactly what I have on my screen. However, I do not see brownie said by everyone. I'm not sure what happened, but I do not see it showing on your screen. I am really... Alexio Gaming, I am also not seeing where you said brownie, guys. It does not show up on mine. I will show you, guys, before next week, and I will have a screen to be able to display all of your guys' chats on my screen. We do have to go off of my chats, though, because... All right, guys, we're going to continue on. I'm going to give Phantom the point there. I also don't see brownie anywhere else. All right, we're going to continue on. We're going to play another round of blurt where I'm going to give you guys the definition to 2 words. And the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, an animal that lives in the water, has gills for breathing, and is usually covered with scales. The second definition, to force air from the lungs in a sudden, noisy way. Fish is correct. Gasp is not correct. To force air from the lungs in a sudden, noisy way. I do not see it. Your wife. Hey, welcome back. Be stronger than excuses. We're playing a game called Blurt, where I give you the definition to a word. First person to tell me the correct word gets a point on the scoreboard. The definition right now that nobody can get is to force air from the lungs in a sudden, noisy way. I do not see it. We're playing a game called Blurt, where I give you the definition to a word, and the first person to tell me the correct... Cough is correct. Cough is correct, and I'm going to make sure that on my screen you're the first person to say cough, and who was the first person to say fish? Javier was the first person to say fish. Javier, good job for that point. And now it looks like Hong Kong Philip. You are getting added to the scoreboard. And Hong Kong, welcome to the... Give me 1 second. Let me grab the right marker. Welcome to the scoreboard, Hong Kong. And Hong Kong, it looks like this is your first time entering the scoreboard and getting a point on this game, which means I will be adding your name to the Hall of Fame, where once your name enters this Hall of Fame, you never leave. There's currently 61 people in the Hall of Fame. All right, guys, we're going to continue on. Welcome. It's your boy. We're going to do another round of Blurt. Blurt is where I give you guys the definition to 2 words, and you have to tell me the word. The first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point. Do a hard one. I'll do a hard one. That was a hard one. You guys took you forever. All right. So I'm going to repeat Blurt. To be fair, I don't think I would have gotten it either, so I would not be getting many points on this. Awesome, Ram. All right, guys. Blurt is where I give you the definition to 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition is to move a hand, arm, or something in the hand back and forth as a signal or greeting. The second definition, the 5th month of the year. All right, Alexio Gaming, I am very, very sorry. I did check. Wave is correct. Alexio, you are going in a 5-minute timeout. I promise I will go back and check right after this round, but if I don't see it, it's going to have to be final. May is correct. So who was the first person to say wave was Phantom, and the first person to say May was also Phantom. All right, hold on, Alexio. Hold on. All right, Alexio, please do not spam the chat. I will read it. You are in a 5-minute timeout. You're still allowed to play the game, but this game does depend on you guys not spamming the chat over that. People like that wreck the show. They do, and it's okay. I like to be fair. This is why I will, before the show next week, and I have new games coming in, I will have a screen here so you guys can live see the chat when I need to verify. I'm not sure what's going on. The internet, I did not make the internet, and I apologize for that. We do have to work with it. We do have to work around it. I do try to be as fair as I possibly can. Alexio, you're only in a 5-minute timeout. You are allowed to continue to play the game. I did not make the internet, though, and I am sorry, and I do try to make it as fair as possible. I even spent a lot of money on this show to try to make it fair, like I'll be introducing a screen just so you guys can see. Now, we're going to continue on with Blurt. Blurt is where I give you the definition to 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard, and then we're going to move to hard blurts after that. The first definition is a piece of furniture used to rest or sleep on. The second definition, a container that is usually deeper than it is wide and is used to hold flowers or as an ornament. Bed is correct. Bed is correct. And vase is also correct. And on my screen, Javier got both of those points. Congratulations, Javier. Guys, only one person per stream enters the Hall of Champions. But if somebody's already in the Hall of Champions, I will take the person with the next amount of points. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and read off a hard one. So I'm going to read the... Oh, you guys can see that, the back, so I'm actually going to have to pick a different card. All right, guys, we're going to continue on with Blurt, where I give you the definition to 2 words. First person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a platform that juts out from the side of a building. The second definition, small pieces of colored paper that are made to be thrown at celebrations. Balcony is correct. The second definition was small pieces of colored paper that are made to be thrown at celebrations. I'm going to go ahead and give Phantom his point for balcony. And confetti is correct. Confetti is correct. And let me make sure this first person I see who said confetti was Hong Kong. Hong Kong, congratulations on your second point. All right, you know what? Now when we play Blurt moving forward, I'm going to start with the two easy, and then I'm going to move to two hard ones, and we're going to switch it up a little bit. Gang, you're doing great. All right, guys, we are going to continue on with Blurt. This is where I give you the definition of two words. The first person to get the correct word gets a point. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition is a game in which two teams of 11 players each try to carry or kick a ball over the other team's goal. The second definition, a current of water that moves rapidly round and round. Football is correct. I'm going to give the point to Phantom. Whirlpool is correct. All right. The point is going to go to Phantom as well. All right, we're going to turn around the card and read two hard definitions. Well, a bit harder than the blue. All right. I'm going to give you guys two definitions. The first person to know the correct word gets a point. Up to 2 points to be handed out. The first definition, a large reptile with sharp teeth and strong jaws. The second definition, to make slight, sharp snapping sounds. Alligator is correct. The second definition, to make slight, sharp snapping sounds. I'm going to give the point to Phantom. All right, I'm going to give it to Hong Kong Philip. It is crackle, but he said crack, and that is close enough. That is close enough, Hong Kong. I'm going to go ahead and give you the point, which I will have you know, Hong Kong, you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions with your 3 points because Phantom and Javier are both already in the Hall of Champions. However, be careful because Richard is here, and he was destroying the other day. He was doing very good. Very close between him and Javier. All right, guys, we're going to continue on with Blurt. That one was hard. Yep, we had a hard one requested. So, all right, we're going to continue on Blurt, where I give you the definition of two words. The first person to tell me the correct word gets a point on the scoreboard. The first definition is a covering for a wheel, usually made of rubber and filled with air. The second definition, a nasty or spoiled child. The first definition, a covering for a wheel usually made of rubber and filled with air. Tire is correct. The second definition, a nasty or spoiled child. Brat is correct. And on my screen, it looks like the first person to say tire was Phantom. The first person to say brat was Javier. First person to say tire was 1 point to Phantom, 1 point to Javier. All right, we're gonna do some hard ones, or harder. The first definition. A small hollow in the flesh of the body, as in the cheek or chin. I'm going to reread that. I'm sorry. The first one, a small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. The second definition, a public sale of goods or property to the person who bids the largest amount of money. I will repeat, and I'm actually going to turn up the light on this so I can read it a little bit better. The first definition, a small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. The second definition, a public sale of goods or property to the person who bids the largest amount of money. Auction is correct. The first person to say auction was Javier. It is not fat. It is not cyst. We're going to repeat the first one. A small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. First person to get it correct will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not fat. It is not cyst. It is not mouth. A small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. It is not eye socket. This is a tricky one. I will admit this is a tricky one. It is not nostril. A small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. I will give you guys a hint. They are more commonly found on the cheeks. Gap is close, but it's not quite it. It's not pores. It is not bone. It's not nostril. I do not see the correct answer yet. I do not see it yet. It is not pore. It is not pore. Moles. All right, guys. I'm going to start a timer, and if nobody gets it, nobody gets the point. I'm going to start 10 seconds on the clock. Actually, I'm going to read the definition one more time. I'm going to start 10 seconds on the clock. If nobody gets it, nobody gets it. It is not pimple, but that is close. A small hollow in the flesh or the body, as in the cheek or chin. 10 seconds on the clock, and we're going to see if anybody can get it. Not wart, it is not zit. Pimple, it was closer than zit. You guys will see when I'm done. All right. Time is out. I'm writing done. Nobody's getting it. It was dimple. It was dimple. Dimple. A small hollow in the flesh or in the body, as in the cheek or chin. And that's why I said pimple was closer than zit. It was dimple. Big oof. Big oof. Oh, yes. All right. Only 1 point was awarded that round. We're going to continue on to one more round of blurt, and then we're going to spin the wheel. 2 more rounds of blurt. That was a hard one. You guys asked for hard ones. You got hard ones. All right, blurt is where I give you the definition. Blurt is where I give you the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be given out. The first definition, the rumbling or crashing noise that comes with lightning. The second definition, a device having teeth made of metal, plastic, or other hard materials and used to arrange or fasten the hair. Thunder is correct. And if I ever forget to write your point, let me know. I'm trying to write them immediately now, just because sometimes the second definition stumps some people. Thunder was correct. On my screen, it was Javier who got it first. And nope, nobody has it yet. I'll reread it, guys. A device having teeth made of metal, plastic, or other hard material and used to arrange or fasten the hair. It is not a hair clip. It is not a zip tie. It is not a bobby pin. It is not a claw. It is not a dip tie, which I assume is a... You meant a zip tie. A device having teeth made of metal, plastic, or other hard materials and used to arrange or fasten the hair. It's not a crocodile clip. It is not a claw clip. In fact, it is a very small word, guys. First person to correctly guess it will get a point. It is not a hair clip. I'm going to read one more time, then I'm going to start 10 seconds on the... I'm going to start 10 seconds. A device having teeth made of metal, plastic, or other hard materials and used to arrange or fasten the hair. 10 seconds is on the clock. First person to get it. It is a comb. It is a comb. Good job, Phantom. Phantom, I feel like as soon as I start that timer, you just pop in and get it a lot of the time. So, you or somebody else. All right, guys. It was a comb. That was good. That was good. That definition is very misleading. This is the Webster's Dictionary definition. It's probably why nobody buys Webster's anymore. That was a good guess. That was a good guess. All right, guys. You know what time it is? We're going to switch up the game a little bit. We are going to spin the wheel and see what game is next. Oh, let's still spin. I spun that hard. All right, guys. It looks like it is Battleship. Perfect. We're going to play around a Battleship. Oh, and I am... You guys, I am so sorry. You're going to have to give me 1 minute before we continue on with Battleship. Don't start your guesses yet. Richard, do you think you're a little bit behind? I have to move the ships around from the last stream just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, internet's a little bit weird with like latency and stuff. I'm trying to see what I can do on my end to work with the settings to make sure the latency is a lot better and stuff. I'm very sorry about the lack of preparation here, guys. I just forgot to do this one. All right, we're going to continue on Battleship before I get the guesses. So how Battleship works is I have a bunch of ships hidden on my board. You got on a 10 by 10 grid. The columns are labeled 1 through 10. The rows are labeled A through J. And you guys have to pair a letter with a number. Go ahead and begin. Oh, go ahead and begin. You guys are going to have 30 seconds on the clock. Pair a letter with a number. Many points can be handed out during this one. Many points can be handed out. The first person to hit that part of the ship will get the point. If 2 people hit it, only the first person will get the point. You guys have another 15 seconds. You guys have another 15 seconds. You must pair a letter and a number. The number must be between 1 and 10, and the letter must be between A and J. And we are done. We're going to go ahead and now read them off and see if anybody has gotten them. I'm only reading them off until when I said done. I had already said done. But I know there's a little bit of a latency. All right, we have A3 is a miss. J2 is a miss. E4, miss. E3, miss. E2, miss. B3, miss. H1, miss. C3, miss. H3, miss. D3, miss. H6, miss. E3, miss. H8, miss. D1, hit. Congratulations on the first hit of Battleship. Let me go ahead and see who got that, and I will give them the point. That would be Hong Kong. We're going to continue on. F3, miss. A1, hit. A1 is a hit. Who said A1 first? That would be Hong Kong with another point. Hong Kong, you're still in the lead for the championship tonight. G3, hit. G3 is a hit. Who said G3? That would be Javier. Javier said G3. B1, hit. B1 is a hit. B1 is a hit. Let me go ahead and give you the point. Who said that? Well, Hong Kong said it. All right. Continuing on. J5 is a miss. H3 is a miss. C1, hit. C1 is a hit. Congratulations. Let me go ahead and see who said that. That would be Hong Kong again. Hong Kong again. I3, miss. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. J3 is a miss. E1, hit and sunk. There are no extra points for sinking. I just alert you guys when you sunk a ship. Let me see who said E1. That would be Hong Kong. Continuing on. C6 is a miss. A6 is a hit. Let me see who said A6. That would be Javier. 1 point to Javier. C3, miss. B6, miss. C4, miss. C6, miss. 14, not on here. D6. D6 is a hit. All right, let me give the point to whoever said D6, which would be Javier. Watch out, Phantom. Javier is coming for your high score. Continuing on with B4 is a miss. C is not valid. E6. E6 is a miss. Welcome back. C4, miss. F6, miss. A7. This is hard to read sometimes. A7 is a miss. H6. H6 is a miss. All right, guys, and I read them all after done, so we're going to go ahead and be done with that. All right, guys, a few points were handed out. You think Hong Kong's got a hidden camera on me? That's funny. That's funny. All right, guys. We're going to do another balloon. We're going to do another balloon. Many more points on the board for Battleship. And I'll just have you guys know, I'll be streaming for 2 hours every single time now and taking a 5-minute break halfway in between, about half an hour until that break. All right, what are we going to make? What are we going to make? Oh, first person to guess what I'm making correctly will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not a snake. Not a dog, not a cat, not a chicken, not a giraffe. Because you guys love to... Yes, Phantom, you are at 16, if that's what you're asking. Guys, I'm coming up with a better system for the scoreboard so you can more easily see it. The stream is always a work in progress. The stream is always a work in progress. It just takes time. Oh, it popped. It popped. It popped. Okay. It was a shark, however. Shark was going to be the correct answer if it didn't just die. The first person to say shark was Hong Kong Philip, I believe. However, I'm double checking. Where are you, Hong Kong? You said shark, and it looks like nobody else said it before you. All right, Hong Kong, congratulations. You got the point. All right, guys, we're going to go back to Blurt because everybody likes Blurt, it looks like. We're going to do too easy and then too hard. Too easy, then too hard. By the way, I like taking feedback from you guys. Do you think with Blurt, I should read one definition at a time, or do you guys like when I do both definitions at a time? I want to hear you guys' feedback real quick. Should I keep reading 2 definitions at a time, or should I just do 1 definition at a time? 2 for sure. That's what Philip said, both. Oh, welcome back, Anissa. Both. You guys like both? Okay, cool. All right, well, we already got 3 fast answers with both. All right, we're going to keep doing that. We're going to keep doing that then. Cool, cool, cool. We're going to keep doing both. The majority voted on this one. We're going to do both. All right. We're going to play Blurt, where the rules of the game are I'm going to give you guys the definition to 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition. Welcome back, Chibi. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, to hit with the fist. The second definition, a toy that is made to look like a human being. The first definition, to hit with the fist. Punch is correct. The second definition, a toy that is made to look like a human being. Doll is correct. All right, guys, looks like Phantom was the first person to say punch and doll. He's going to go ahead and grab both of those points. We're gonna continue with Blurt, but we're going to make it harder now. Now, every other time I read Blurt, they're going to be harder ones. The first definition is a geometric figure that has 5 sides and 5 angles. The second definition, a worm that lives in water and sucks blood from other animals. It's interesting. I didn't know this was classified as a worm. Pentagon is correct. The second definition, a worm that lives in water and sucks blood from other animals. Leech is correct. All right, Pentagon and Leech. The first person to say Pentagon was Anissa. Anissa, congratulations. Oh, Anissa. Welcome back, by the way. You'll see your name is now on the Hall of Champions. I update it between every stream, and I have to add you to the scoreboard for today's stream. Give me 1 second, guys. Now I have to go see who got the second point. Leech was correct, and I did see the correct answer. The first person to say it was Hong Kong Philip. Hong Kong, welcome to your point. Oh, we have Hong Kong Philip with 10 points. Hong Kong, you're currently in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. Guys, I just dropped my marker. I'm so sorry. I have to go pick it up. I kind of need it. Oh, it's far, way past my setup. Complicated setup with all these devices and cords everywhere. I just tossed it. Very sorry. All right, guys, continuing on. Now we're here we are on the 2 hard definitions for Blurt. Wah, wah, wah. You said it was Hong Kong? Wait. Hold on, what happened? Oh, it was Hong Kong who said Pentagon first. I see. It was Hong Kong got the point for Pentagon and Leech. See, I really appreciate you guys' honesty. I'm not going to take Anissa's point off the board, though. And so, you're right, Hong Kong. You did get that point. You just looked up Hong Kong. He's a psychic for the military. Well, then he will hopefully be on the Hall of Champions tonight with that kind of thing. Anissa, how you see on your screen? On my screen, it does say that he said Pentagon above you, Anissa. But on my screen it does go Hong Kong said Pentagon. Richard Green said High Chibi. Phantom said Hexagon. Anissa said Pentagon. Like I said, guys, before next weekend, I will have a screen here or somewhere on this setup to where you guys can see my chat. I know with the internet, it is a little bit unfair. I can always grab my phone and show you, but that's very inconvenient because I have to go around. But I can still do it, and I will gladly still do it. But I'm going to have a screen up here so you guys can see because I do want this game to be as fair as possible. All right, guys, we're going to do another round of blurt. We're going to do another round of blurt where I give you the definition for 2 words. First person tell me the correct word for either definition. We'll get a point on the scoreboard. The first word. To pass the tongue over. The second word. To remove the beard or hair from, especially with a razor. Lick is correct. Roll over is not. Shave is correct. Awesome, Anissa. But, a lot of other people do have problems with the scoring, and I know it's tricky with the internet because everybody's connection is different and stuff. That's why it is a priority for me to be able to display my chat on the screen for you guys to be able to fairly do it. That was quick. All right, let me go ahead. It was lick and shave. Lick. The first person to say lick on my screen was Hong Kong Philip. And the first person to say shave was Phantom. All right, we're going to do another round of blurt. Yes, Phantom, you both got 1. All right, we're going to do another round of blurt where I'm going to give you 2 definitions. First person to tell me the word for either definition. We'll get a point. Up to 2 points can be awarded. The first definition, a dog that is a mixture of different breeds. The second definition, a poisonous substance that is found in tobacco leaves. The first definition, a dog that is a mixture of different breeds. The second definition, a poisonous substance that is found in tobacco leaves. Nicotine is correct, Javier Goatman. All right, the first definition, and mutt is correct. Mutt is correct. All right, it looks like Javier said nicotine first, and Javier also said mutt first. 2 points for Javier. All right, guys, Phantom and Javier are racing to see who has the high score on this stream, and then it looks like Hong Kong Philip is in the lead for entering the Hall of Champions. However, this stream is not over, so no decisions until the end. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of blurt where I'm going to give you 2 definitions. The first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition, a powerful storm with very strong winds and heavy rains. The second definition, very small, loose grains of worn or crushed rock. That's okay, Richard. I saw how you were the first time you came in. Hurricane is correct, and I know you're going to probably get on the Hall of Champions sometime. Sand is correct. It's okay, Richard. I plan on streaming every day if I can. All right, who's the first person to say hurricane on my screen? It would be Javier Goatman. And who's the... I'm just going to do 1 point at a time just so that way, in case you guys ever take some time on one of the definitions, I can just have a good system for making sure I don't miss any points. And if I ever forget to give you guys a point, please let me know. All right, who said sand first? would be Hong Kong Philip. Hong Kong Philip. All right, guys, we're going to read the red words now. Yes, don't worry, Richard. This is, I'm trying to make this a full-time career and stuff, and so it's really fun for me, and it looks like it's really fun for a lot of people who play. And so if this is going to be something that I do all the time, I would totally do it all the time. I'm also going to be doing it multiple times a day, hopefully some in the morning, some in the evening, so people all over the world who speak English can play. And I say who speak English because obviously that's the one. All right, we're going to go ahead and read the two definitions. A small rodent with soft fur, large cheek pouches, and a short tail. The second definition, an informal kind of language that is especially vivid or lively and is always changing. Also, Richard, I'm doing another stream today at 7 o'clock Central Time as well. Slang is correct. You guys do not have the first one yet, believe it or not. A small rodent with soft fur, large cheek pouches, and a short tail, which could probably... Only one answer... Phantom, no, only one answer per message. You know, I guess for this one, you guys can do two. No, we're gonna stick with one. We're always just gonna stick with one, just to be fair. I do not see it yet, guys. We're gonna stick with one shout. All right, who said slang first? Who said slang first? On my screen, it looks like Hong Kong said slang first, and we're still looking for the correct word. Let me catch up. It is a hamster. That is correct. It is a hamster. I think Richard said it first. I think he was the only one to say it so far. I always go back and double check. See, I feel like, honestly, I feel like a mouse could have fit this definition too, but on the card it goes hamster. Wait, who did I give the point for slang? Hold on, let me give Richard his point. Who did I give the point for slang? It was Javier. I gave the point to Javier, but who said it first? Did he not say it first? No, it was Hong Kong. Wait, who did I give? Oh, crap. Do you guys know who I gave the point to for slang? I realized I gave Javier the point for nicotine, not slang. See, this is why I try to sometimes switch it up between. The first person to say slang on my screen was Hong Kong. I did give to Hong Kong. Okay, cool. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys being fair. Do appreciate that. Okay, cool. That is on my screen. That is who said slang first. All right, cool. Continuing on, we're going to do a quick balloon. We're going to do a quick balloon. Awesome. And I did give Richard his point. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Guys, I will be trying to add, it is not a snake, I will be trying to add new games to this every single week, and sometimes you'll see old games, completely new streams as well. It's all going to be games, though. The premise of this stream is you guys are going to, I'm going to be hosting different types of games, different games. It's done. I'm just going to hold it. I don't have to bend it. I'm going to be hosting different games where you guys are playing them. There's always going to be a scoreboard. It's a heart. It is a heart. Who said heart first? Let me go up and see who said heart first on my screen. So far, it looks like Richard. Yes, on my screen, I'm going to give the point to Richard. All right, give me 1 second, guys. We're going to make one more balloon, and then we're going to do Battleship, and then we're going to take our 5-minute break. That is our halftime break. And I do keep a timer on me when I do the 5-minute break, so I am back in exactly 5 minutes. Just so that way you guys can also time too, because I know some people are really confusing here, which I love to see. First person to correctly tell me what I made. Oh, my chat is not scrolling. Give me a second. Laser gun. That is correct. Gun, I also... Laser gun or gun, I accept both. Remember, you guys gotta be close. Rhino, welcome back, welcome back. All right, let me see. Who was the first person to either say gun or laser gun? It looks like Phantom got it. It looks like Phantom got it. All right, guys, we're going to do another round of Battleship. This is where I have ships hidden all over my battleground. And when I say go, not yet. When you guys hear the ding, you're going to start guessing. I have ships all over my battleground on a 10 by 10 grid that are labeled. The columns are labeled 1 through 10. The rows are labeled A through J. You must pair a letter with a number. Go ahead and start. And as soon as I see the first one, I will start the timer. Just so then I can kind of figure out latency a little bit. There we go. You guys are allowed as many guesses as you want, but only one guess per comment, just so it's easier to keep going. You guys have about 20 seconds left. About 20 seconds left. Many points can be handed out this one. Remember, only the first person to hit that part of the ship will get the point. All right, done. We are done. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and read them off. I'm going to go ahead and read them off. Good luck. Let's see if anybody got any hits. Let's see if anybody got any hits. E4, miss. E1, hit, but it was already a hit. A3, miss. E6, miss. B2, miss. F6, miss. Wait. Yes, miss. E8, miss. B8, hit. We have our first hits of the round. Let me see who said B8. That would be Phantom. All right, continuing on. A5. Hit. Who said A5? Let me see who said A5 first. That would be Javier. Continuing on. B9. Hit. B9 is a hit. Who said B9? That would be Phantom. B5, miss. C2, miss. C4, miss. A1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. A1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. C5, miss. 88, invalid. You must pair a letter between A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J with a number between 1 and 10. B1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. D5, hit. D5 is a hit. Oh, drop my peg. Give me a second here. Who said D5? That would be Javier. Gets the point. All right. Continuing on. H8 is a miss. C1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. E5 is a miss. A2 is a miss. A5 is a hit, but it was already a hit. H7 is a miss. F5 is a miss. D1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. A3 is a miss. G5, miss. H5, hit. H5 is a hit. All right, let me see who said H5. That would be Javier. Continuing on. D6 is a hit, but it was already a hit. H3, miss. E2, miss. I5. I5 is a hit, and it's a sink. There are no extra points for sinking. I just let you guys know. I5. Who said I5? Javier. Javier said I5. D6. D6 is a hit, but it was already a hit. All right, last one that is above when I said done. J5 is a miss. All right, guys. That is Battleship. I'm going to go ahead and check up with you guys, and we're going to go ahead and go on break in a couple minutes. When you guys hear the sound of the gong, that is when my 5-minute timer has started. That is when my 5-minute timer has started. Welcome back, Rhino. Anissa, how old are you all, if you don't mind me asking? I am in my late 20s. All right, guys, when you hear the sound of the gong, my 5-minute timer has started, and I do carry a timer on me, so that way I can keep track of the break. And when you hear the laser, the break is over. All right, guys, 5-minute break starts now. Five-minute break is also the halftime of the show. Also, the timer did start, but Phantom, you are at 5, 10, 15, 20, 22 points. Richard is at 3. Javier is at 17. Chris Kitts 1. Hong Kong. Philip 14. Anissa 1. There's about 4.5 minutes left in the break. I will be back. Thank you guys for playing, by the way. I'm having a lot of fun. All right, guys. The break is over. The break is over. We're going to continue on. So there's only 3 hours time difference, but the internet connection is slower in some places, right or wrong? I do not know. I'm going to be honest, I do not know. Just so you guys know, I'm in Chicagoland, so it is currently 5 p.m. for me. It is currently 5 p.m. All right, guys, we are going to Lingo. Welcome. Bro has to have an expensive electric bill. Well, yeah, I do have a lot of lights. I ain't gonna lie, and I have a lot of electronics plugged in right now. All right, guys. Be stronger than excuses. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're going to spice things up now that we're back from the break. We're going to start it off with some balloons, but we're going to make this one a little challenging. You guys are going to have to guess what balloon I am making. But we're going to do this on hard mode, and this is a seizure warning for some people out there. This is a seizure warning. Who can guess what I am making first? It's not a gun and it's not a dinosaur. Who's going to be the first person to guess what I am making? I did do the epilepsy warning, the seizure warning. Who will be the first person to correctly guess what I am making and get a point on the scoreboard? It's not a caterpillar, it's not a dog, it is not a monkey. It is not a worm. It is not a worm. It's not a sword. Not a dog. That is correct. It is a bear. Let me go ahead and turn that off. It is a bear. Not a bone arrow. It is a bear. I would accept bear. I would accept teddy bear. Now, guys, we do have a Hall of Famer here. You did Teddy. Hey, Chibi, welcome back. I do have a Hall of Famer. The first time I introduced the strobe light said that she was prone to seizures. And so I will be warning when that is going to happen. When there are flashing lights, I will be announcing that there is a epileptic warning or seizure warning. I will just be announcing it. They will not last long. They shouldn't ever last more than a minute. Good ASMR. All right, let's see who said anything resembling the answer. Bigfoot, snake, chicken. I thought chicken, tomato, lettuce, mayo, and bacon was your guess, but I realized that was the sandwich that you're making. That's kind of funny. Okay. It was a bear, sword, dog, sword. Why is it flashing? To make it challenging. Teddy was the first person to say... I'm sorry. Richard was the first person to say it. To say Teddy. All right, guys. We're going to move on to Blurt. We're going to move on to Blurt. The name of the game for Blurt is I'm going to give you... Well, the name of the game is Blurt. But the rules of the game are I'm going to give you guys 2 definitions. And the first person to correctly guess the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Rhino, you do not have a point yet for today. The 2 definitions are, the first definition, a tank of water for swimming. The second definition, a soothing song used to help put a child to sleep. The first person to get a word correct will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be earned. Pool is correct. Lullaby is correct. The first person to say pool was Javier. Oh. Good job, Javier. Now, who was the first person on my screen to say lullaby? And that was also Javier. That was also Javier. Congratulations for the 2 points. All right, we're going to play Blurt again, but we're going to make it a little bit harder every time we play Blurt. It'll be a little bit harder. Well, that's not true. It'll go back and forth between not hard and hard. All right, Blurt. I'm going to give you guys 2 definitions. The first person to correctly give me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, someone who lives alone and away from other people. The second definition, to drink little by little and in small quantities. Hermit is correct. To drink little by little and in small quantities. Sip is correct. I do believe both points went to Hong Kong, but I'm going to check. Yes, Hong Kong. Yeah, Ram, I also thought that was kind of weird for the pool. I didn't make up these words and stuff. Hong Kong, you got both the points there. I also would not have thought tank would be the description for a swimming pool. We're going to continue on with Blurt. We're going to play a couple more rounds. Welcome back, Alexio Gaming. Welcome back. All right. We're going to play Blurt, where I'm going to give you guys the definition to 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word on my chat will get a point. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition, a pumpkin hollowed out and cut to look like a face. The second definition, an imaginary creature with a human form of great size. Alexio Gaming says, I'm sorry about earlier. Please forgive my actions. It is actually not a problem at all, Alexio. That is why I put you in a timeout, not a ban. I put you in a timeout so that way I could continue playing the game for everyone else, but I didn't ban you because you didn't really do anything wrong. It's okay to be upset. Welcome back. You're allowed to play this game as long as you are appropriate. So, you did nothing wrong, my friend. Welcome back. Welcome to the game. We're here to have fun, and we just have to make sure that everybody's having fun and that I can still read the chat. All right, guys. Jack-o'-lantern is correct. And giant is correct. All right, the first person to say jack-o'-lantern was Hong Kong. And the first person to say giant was also... Oh, nope. It was Phantom for giant. So, giant and Phantom... Phantom and Hong Kong. Okay. Give me 1 second, see. Give me 1 second. Be strong in excuses. No, on my screen I won pool. I'm just going to go back and double check. Yeah, on my screen, be stronger than excuses. You were the 4th person to say pool, guys. I promise, as soon as I can, I will have a screen here that displays my chat, and it has to be the final tiebreaker because of latency. We're going to continue on Blurt, where I give you guys the definition of 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, a hard, thick area of skin that usually forms on the hands or feet. The second definition, the act of forcing a liquid medicine into the body with a needle. Javier is the goat man. He is a very old friend of mine. Callus is correct. The act of forcing a liquid medicine into the body with a needle. Injection is correct. Hong Kong again with both of the points. Guys, I will be looking for more moderators. However, I will not be adding another one anytime soon. And if you guys, for one of you guys to be a moderator that I don't know, you guys will have to be on the stream for a long time and build trust. What are the rules of the chat, by the way? The rules of the chat are 1. Well, okay, first of all, it's be appropriate. The rules of the chat are just be appropriate and be inclusive for everybody. And then you're allowed 1 guess per message or per comment, and you're allowed as many guesses as you'd like for any of the games. So, like, literally all of them and any of them. We're going to continue on with Blurt, where I'm going to give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition, small rounded pieces of ice that fall to earth like rain. The second definition, a thin film of liquid that is shaped like a ball and has air or gas trapped inside it. You guys do not. Hail is correct. I do believe Anissa had a typo with Gale, and so I'm going to give it to Anissa. The second one, a thin film of liquid that is shaped like a ball and has air or gas trapped inside of it. It is not balloon. It is not balloon. It is a bubble. It is a bubble. The first person to say bubble was Hong Kong, and I have to just go back. I didn't award the point yet for Hale because I just wanted to go back and double check. Just give me 1 second, guys. Ryan, you were so close with Hale, but Anissa said Gale right before, but I do believe Gale was a typo, and typos are okay. As long as... Where are you, Anissa? There you go. All right. Moving on to the red blurts. The blue blurts are supposed to be the junior edition with a little bit easier. The red blurts are supposed to be the adult edition. All right, we are going to move on to the red version of blurt. Where I give you guys 2 definitions. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be awarded. The first definition, a fruit related to the orange with dark orange skin that peels easily. The second definition, a written history of someone's life. On my screen, it does say Hong Kong said bubble first, Richard. And sometimes when if you guys were to send a message at almost the same time, on your screen, it's going to say you sent it first. But mine is like the hub, and so we're going to go off of my screen. A fruit related to the orange with dark orange skin that peels easily. I do not see the answer. Biography is correct for the first one. The first person on my screen to say. Oh, tangerine is correct, by the way. My bad. I did not see that. You guys said that. Okay. First person to say tangerine would be Ryan. Rhino, welcome back. Ryan, I'm adding you to the scoreboard, and of course I remember you being in the Hall of Fame, and I do remember that you prefer to be put on the scoreboard as Rhino, so welcome to the scoreboard. Let me get you your point. And let me see who was the first person to say biography. Would be Hong Kong. Hong Kong, let me get you your point. Oh, I'm going to clean up these points a little bit. Just cleaned up the points just a little bit. It's hard to write from the side. We're going to continue on. Some of them are pretty tricky. All right, guys, it is battleship time. All right, when you guys, at the sound of the bell, you guys can begin. I'm just going to explain it really quick. I have a bunch of ships hidden, and they're on a 10 by 10 grid. The columns are labeled 1 through 10. The rows are labeled A through J. You guys must pair a letter with a number. You're allowed as many guesses as you'd like. Begin. And once I see the first message, I will start the 30-second timer. There we go. And I'm going to explain it one more time for anybody joining who would also like to get some. Many points can be handed out. The first person to hit a spot on my ship will get a point. If you hit it and it's already been hit, you do not get the point. You must pair a letter with a number. For example, you could say J10. You could say A3. You're allowed as many guesses as you want. You're only allowed 1 guess per comment. We are playing Battleship. There is a few seconds left. And once I close the poll, I only accept the answers above when I said done. All right, we are done. We're going to go ahead and read off the answers now. All right, let's go ahead and go up and let's see if anybody got any hits. Wow, that's a lot. When we have a lot of players, we're going to have to shorten the time by a few seconds sometimes, but that's okay. I'm going to read them all off now because I stick to the rules. G1. We have our first hit on our first guess. Who was that? Hong Kong, and somebody did call him psychic earlier, so my gosh, maybe. That was great, Hong Kong. That was great. Ryan with E6. E6 is a miss. A3, miss. G2, hit and sink. Hong Kong with another point. E4, miss. J6, miss. G3, hit, but it was already a hit. D5, hit, but it was already a hit. D5 again, hit, but it was already a hit. B1, hit, but it was already a hit. G4, miss. B2, miss. J2, miss. B4, miss. G5, miss. F1, miss. B3, miss. A7, miss. A5, hit, but it was already a hit. A1, hit, but it was already a hit. A9, miss. G6, miss. C4, miss. I1P. I'm just going to go I1. I1, miss. B7. Oh, B7 is a hit. All right. Javier with the point. Javier with the points. C5, miss. B9, hit, but it was already a hit. G7, hit. G7 is a hit. Who said G7? Hong Kong. C7, hit. Who said C7? That would be Javier. D5, hit, but it was already a hit. C3, miss. J6, miss. D7, hit. D7 was a hit, and it was Javier again. I10, miss. J3, miss. G8, miss. E7, hit, and it was Javier again. Was Javier again. G3, hit, but it was already a hit. 89, way off the board. F7. F7 is a hit and sink. That was by Javier. That peg fell out. Give me 1 second, guys. I have to make sure the peg is in there so that way I can keep track. Okay. D6. Hit, but it was already a hit. G9. Hit. We have another hit. G9 is a hit. Who said that? That would be Hong Kong. B1 is a hit, but it was already a hit. D5, hit, but it was already a hit. G7, hit, but it was already a hit. E10, miss. H7, what the heck is H? H7 is a miss. E2, E2 is a miss. G10, miss. C4, miss. 87, you must pair a letter and a number. The letter must be between A and J. The number must be between 1 and 10. Continuing on, ace or I7, miss. E1, hit, but it was already a hit. J3 is a miss. And the last one I'm going to read, because it is above the done on my screen, would be K10. But K is not on here. It must be between A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. All right, guys. Congratulations, everybody who got points. We're going to continue on. I'll have you guys know there is only 6 points left on Battleship. There's only 6 points left on Battleship. Oh, we had a new subscriber I didn't even see. I got to give the firework. All right, guys. We're going to continue on. All right. Continuing on. We're going to... I start over each time. I start the game Just so you know, Battleship starts over every stream. So between streams, I clear all the pegs and I move all of the ships. Just only between streams. So in one stream, Battleship will continue, and the streams are going to go on for 2 hours each time for now. But I'm going to stream again later, and in between this stream and the next stream, Battleship will completely be different. Just so you guys know. Hey, Ryan, your little brother, I think you said it was Maverick, right? I think I saw you guys in earlier at the same time when you said that. So welcome, Ryan and Maverick, I think it was. Can I give you? Yes, I can actually. Yes, I can do that. I can show you guys the Battleship at the end. I was actually already thinking about starting to do that. That way you guys know that it is all legit. We're going to do one balloon. And then we're going to go back to... We're going to go back to Blurt after the balloon. Blurt seems to be a fan favorite. The first person to correctly tell me what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Yes, I will show you the Battleship. Now just remember, it is not a sword. Remember that if multiple people hit the same spot of the ship, only the first person to hit that spot gets the point. I could see that being confusing if you're going back later to check, but just if you're going back to check, just check all the way from the very first time we started playing. I try my very hardest to be as fair as I can. Of course, I guess fair is a little bit subjective, isn't it? But that's okay. As long as we're having fun, it's good. It's not a wiener dog. It is not Donald Trump. It is not Mouse. Ryan, you are correct. It is a balloon. We're going a little bit more specific than that, though. Not a dinosaur. First person to tell me what I have made. Will get a point on the scoreboard. It is not great. It is a motorbike. That is correct. It is a motorbike. I'm going to go ahead and finish it just so that way people can see what it looks like for future reference. By Phantom. Last bubble was a little tricky. Right back to work. Yes, guys, it is a motorbike. All right, we're going to continue on. I'm going to see who the first person to say motorbike was. Oh. That was the wrong keyboard. Sorry about the random sounds. I have two keyboards going, and I just typed on the soundboard one. Sorry about that. All right, I would have accepted motorbike, motorcycle, or bike. Oh, Richard Green had it early. He did. And it looks like he was the first person to say it. Richard, congratulations. All right, guys, we are going to move on to Blurt. Guys, typically when I see the correct answer, I will do the sound, but then before I give the point, I do like to go back in the chat and confirm. All right, guys, we're going to play a round of Blurt, where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be handed out. The first definition, a low, deep sound such as the one made by an angry dog. The second definition, a man who rules a country. Growl is correct. That point will go to Rhino. President is not correct. A man who rules a country. Which, I mean, we're just going off of the card because I don't see how that's wrong. But a king is correct. This kind of surprises me sometimes. Anissa, good job. We are giving you the point for king. All right, we're going to do another round of blurt. We're going to make it a little bit harder than the last one. Blurt, I'm going to give you guys the definition for 2 words. First person to tell me the correct word gets a point. A group of people selected to hear the facts and evidence on cases presented in a court of law. And the second definition, a kind of grasshopper that travels in huge swarms and does great damage to growing crops. The first definition, a group of people selected to hear the facts and evidence on cases presented in a court of law. The second is a kind of grasshopper that travels in huge swarms and does great damage to growing crops. Locust is correct, and I'm going to look back for yes, and jury is also correct. Locust and jury are correct. I'm going to give it to the first person I see who said either. It looks like Ryan said locust first on my screen. So 1 point for Rhino. And then jury, who said jury first? Anissa said jury. All right. Evidence. As a matter of elimination, just so you guys know, since this is a game that goes off of the dictionary, of course, words do get updated. I think one of the rules for words entering the dictionary is they cannot use the word in the definition, and evidence was used in here. So there's a little bit of a key thing, and I didn't know that for the longest time, but that's a little something to know. Hey, Rhino, have a good one. I'm going to be streaming at least one more time tonight. We're going to play another round of Blurt. All right, guys, the 2 definitions. The first person to get the word right gets a point on the scoreboard, up to 2 points given. The first definition, a soap or detergent used to wash the hair and scalp. The second definition, air that moves over the earth. The first definition, a soap or detergent used to wash the hair and scalp. Shampoo is correct. I'm going to give that point to Anissa. The second definition, air that moves over the earth. Wind is correct. And on my screen, that would be Anissa again. All right. We're going to do another round of Blurt, where I give you guys 2 definitions. The first person to get either word correct first gets a point. The first definition, somebody who takes care of a flock of sheep. The second definition, a sour-tasting food resembling custard that is made from milk thickened by the action of bacteria. Anissa is on a roll. I agree, Javier. The first definition, someone who takes care of a flock of sheep. Shepherd would be correct. And yogurt would be correct for the second one. The first person on my screen to say shepherd was Chibi. Let me add. Oh, Chibi! I have to add your name to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard. All right, and the other definition was yogurt. Let me see who was the first person to say yogurt. It looks like Javier was the first person to say yogurt. All right, hold on, Ram. Let me see. You said locust first, man. Let me see. Let me just go back. I will check one time. Ram, I actually don't even. Oh, I see your locust comment, but on my screen, Ryan said locust 1, 2, 3, 4 above you. So it is going to go to Ryan, and that is final. Like I said, guys, I will eventually be grabbing a screen. It's just kind of weird with showing electronics, like recording electronics can be a little bit difficult because of how the light works with the camera. It can just be a little bit difficult to try and display them, so I have to do it carefully to not damage my camera and so you guys can even see the screen. All right, guys, we're going to play another round of Blurt. Let me see how much time we have left in the stream. We have about half an hour before the stream ends. So that means in about 25 minutes, the new Hall of Champions will be announced. Another round of Blurt. I'm going to give you guys two definitions. The first person to tell me the correct word to either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, the thin, hard covering at the end of a finger or toe. The second definition, to mix playing cards to change their order. Yes, Ram, I'm sorry. It's hard with the internet. I know. I'm trying to make it as fair as possible. That's why Nail is correct. That's why I will just be showing a screen. We just have to use mine as a tiebreaker. Nail is correct, and I believe Anissa was, and Shuffle is correct. Ooh, the first person to say Nail was Anissa. And the first person on my screen to say Shuffle was Javier. All right, we're going to play another round of Blurt. The first definition, the front part of the leg between the knee and the ankle. The second definition, a rod or staff that is carried by a queen or king as a symbol of authority. The first definition, have a good one, Ryan. The first definition, the front part of the leg between the knee and the ankle. The second definition, a rod or staff that is carried by a queen or king as a symbol of authority. That one's might be a little bit tricky. Shin is correct. Oh, Scepter is correct. Chibi, good job. I thought that one would take a little bit longer. I don't think I would have gotten Scepter right, to be honest. I think this is my first time even seeing that word. So this is why I like playing games like this. Get to learn. All right, the first person on my screen to say Shin was Javier. And the first person to say Scepter, I believe, was Chibi. Where are you, Chibi? All right, guys. Real quick on the points, we have Phantom with 23 points, Richard with 5, Javier with 27, Chris gets with 1, Hong Kong with 25. Hong Kong is currently in the lead to enter the Hall of Champions. Anissa has 7, Rhino has 3, and Chibi has 2. All right, guys. I would have never guessed it. How many platforms am I playing from? I'm only streaming one right now. I'm only streaming on YouTube. We're going to do another Blurt. All right, guys. I'm only streaming on one. I'm only streaming on YouTube. We're going to do Blurt, where I give you guys the definition for 2 words. The first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition, to become larger in size. The second definition, a large group of fish or water animals swimming together. The first definition, to become larger in size. The second definition, a large group of fish or water animals swimming together. School is correct for a large group of fish or water animals swimming together. And grow is correct. School is correct. The first person on my screen to say school was Chibi. And the first person to say grow was Richard. Good job, guys. All right, we're going to do another round of Blurt. I'll flip the card over. I'm going to give you guys 2 definitions. First person to tell me the correct word gets a point. The first definition, a reddish sweet potato. The second definition, a combat between 2 mounted knights wearing armor and armed with lances. The first definition, a reddish sweet potato. The second definition, a combat between 2 mounted knights wearing armor and armed with lances. Jousting is correct. Do not see the first one, a reddish sweet potato. It is not beet. It is not radish. I'm going to go ahead and give Javier the point for joust while we wait on to see if you guys can get this. A reddish sweet potato. First person to tell me the correct answer will get the point. reddish sweet potato. Do not see. Is that a beet? I do not see. I'm looking for the answers. I do not see the correct. It is not a turnip. It is not a turnip. Not a powerhouse. It's not a willow leaf. I don't know if I've ever heard of a willow leaf. Look that up. All right, I'm putting 10 seconds on the clock. If nobody has it in 10 seconds. It is not potato. All right, time is out. It was a yam. It was a yam. Welcome back, operator, guys. It was a yam. Nobody's getting the point for that. It was a yam. A reddish sweet potato. A yam. Operator, welcome back. What even is a yam? A yam is a reddish sweet potato. It's... Operator, what happened to the setup? It looks so freaking good. Thank you. This is why I took most of Saturday off, so I could work on this. All right, guys, we're going to do we're going to do a fun one. We're going to do a fun one. We are going to spin the wheel and see what game is next. What do we have? We have balloon. We're going to go right back to the balloon. We're going to go right back to the balloon. The first person to correctly guess what I am making will get a point on the scoreboard. Have a good one, Chibi. Operator, is it just random games each time? No, it is not. We usually do a couple rounds of a game, and then I'll either just pick a random game, or I will spin the wheel. I usually start with balloon art. But it is not random games each time. I mean, each stream? Is that what you mean? It is not a B. I will be changing the games out every week, just about. I'm not a monkey. I will be changing the games or adding new games, per se. It's just a developing stream. I got to see what people like, see what people don't like. Also, I have to see what works on stream as well. That's kind of a key factor. It has to be able to work on stream. That's a pretty important one. Today and tomorrow, it's going to be the same games that you guys have seen. And then next weekend, if all goes well this week with my testing, I will be adding a game I'm really looking forward to adding here. I'm curious how it's going to be perceived on stream. All right, guys. Lion or tiger is correct. Let me go ahead and see who said lion or tiger first. I'm going to have to go all the way up and see. All right, the answer's going to go to, the point's going to go to Javier once I find my marker. There we go. Got to be a bear. It was not a bear. Fun fact, the bear and the lion had the exact same head. It just depends on which way I move the head. I'll show you guys real quick. Does everyone want to get into balloon art? Here's the tiger's head, and here is the bear's head, but of course the bear would have a different body. So here's the bear's head, here's the tiger's head. This is actually the head to several different animals. All right, continuing on. We are going to play Battleship. Do not start guessing yet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess. Not 6, my bad. Unless a peg fell out. A peg might have fallen out. We're just going to keep it out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points left can be earned on Battleship. You guys have to match. You guys have to pair a letter with a number. That's actually cool. Yeah, no, it is pretty cool. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and play Battleship. Pair a letter with a number. You're allowed as many guesses as you want. And when you hear the timer, you may start. Go ahead. And once I see the first message, I will go ahead and start the timer just because of latency. Battleship, you may guess as many times as you want. You may guess as many times as you want with Battleship. Only the first person to hit that spot of the ship will get the point. Only the first person. Many points can be handed out during Battleship. It resets between streams. You must give me a letter paired with a number. The letter must be either A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, or J, and the number must be between 1 and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, we are done. Now we are going to go ahead and read the answers, and we're going to see if anybody got any points. Let me start reading them off and seeing what we have. All right, we have D9, miss. H3, miss. A9, miss. A5, hit, but it was already a hit. B9, hit, but it was already a hit. C9, miss. D2, miss. D9, miss. G8. G8 is a miss. E9, miss. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. F9. F9 is a hit. F9 is a hit. All right, that point goes to Javier. Oh. Give me 1 second. All right, I have to make sure I don't ruin my markers there. Okay. Continuing on, H5 is a hit, but it was already a hit. G9, hit, but it was already a hit. I2, miss. G3, hit, but it was already a hit. H9. H9 is a hit and a sink. H9 is a hit and a sink. 1 more point to Javier. Continuing on, G2. Hit, but it was already a hit. I9, miss. J9, miss. I7, miss. A1, hit, but it was already a hit. B1, hit, but it was already a hit. F5, miss. C1, hit, but it was already a hit. D1, hit, but it was already a hit. All right, I see, done right there. I'm not going to be reading any more from that. All right, guys, there's only 4 points left on Battleship, so we will probably not be doing it again because we only have about 10 minutes before the games are over and we announce who is the winner of, or who entered the Hall of Champions. Let me go ahead and catch up with the chat. Good luck, everybody. Welcome to Sisters World. Hey, welcome back. You're joining kind of at the end, where I'm going to be doing at least one more stream today, an hour after this stream ends. Ram said you're pretty cool. Thank you. You're pretty cool for playing. I really appreciate all of you guys playing because this, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. So thank you guys. All right, we're going to do Blurt because I really like Blurt and you guys really like Blurt. Anissa, how many can there be in the Hall of Champions? 1 person will enter the Hall of Champions every single stream. Whoever has the most points on the scoreboard will enter the Hall of Champions unless they are already on the Hall of Champions. Then I will pick the next person. So I'm pretty much going to pick the person with the highest score who isn't already in the Hall of Champions. And I've also started keeping track of whoever has the highest score ever during a stream, which was recently broke by Phantom at 42, who just took Javier out of his first place spot, who had 32. So I keep track of every time somebody ever gets a point on this show, I add them to the Hall of Fame, where once your name enters, you never leave. Whoever gets the most points enters the Hall of Champions. All right, we're going to go on to Blurt. So you can make it if you play often enough. That's true. That's true, because then you'll learn the games. But I'm also adding new games all the time. And there might be some days or maybe there aren't enough points to even get it. We'll see. The stream's developing. It's going to go on for a long time. So I don't think that high score will be beat every stream. So we're going to continue on to Blurt, where I give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points will be given out. The first definition: a tickling feeling of the skin that causes one to want to scratch. I'm sorry, I'll repeat that. A tickling feeling of the skin that causes one to want to scratch. The second definition: a small figure of a person or animal that fits over the hand or is moved by strings from above. Itchy is close enough. Itch was the correct one. The second definition: a small figure of a person or animal that fits over your hand or is moved by strings from above. Puppet is correct. The first person to say itch or itchy and puppet. I see Richard said itchy. That is good. The first person to say puppet was Anissa. First person to say puppet was Anissa. We'll also be doing a top 3. Once the high score is broken, I'll probably be keeping track of like top 3s and leaderboards and stuff as well, because this is really fun for me. So we're going to go ahead and I give the points out. We're going to go ahead and do Blurt again. This is where I give you guys 2 definitions. The first person to get the correct word for either definition gets a point. The first definition: a yellowish substance that forms on the teeth and becomes a hard crust if it is not removed by brushing. The second definition: the part of a tree trunk left in the ground after the tree has fallen or been cut. The first definition again: a yellowish substance that forms on the teeth and becomes a hard crust if it is not removed by brushing. The second definition: the part of a tree trunk left in the ground after the tree has fallen or been cut down. Stump is correct. Plaque is not correct. Plaque is not correct. Enamel is not correct. I actually have to make this a little bit easier for me to read. Stump was correct, so I'm going to go ahead and give that point out to the first person who I see. Stump, you guys. Nobody has the first one: a yellowish substance that forms on the teeth and becomes a hard crust if it is not removed by brushing. Who's the first person to say stump? I see it on my screen. It was Javier. Point for Javier. I'm going to read it again. All right, guys. I'm going to read Blurt. The second one is not cavity. I'm going to give you guys 15 seconds after I read it. The part of a tree trunk left in the ground. I'm sorry, that was stump. This is the other one. A yellowish substance that forms on the teeth and becomes a hard crust if it is not removed by brushings. It is not cavity. It is not stain. It is not fluoride. It is not enamel. It's not gunk. This is a goofy one. Hey, welcome back, Chloe. All right, guys, I'm ending it right there. It was tartar. It was tartar. Nobody gets the point for tartar. It was a hard one. All right, guys, we're going to do another Blurt. We're going to do another Blurt. Welcome back, Chloe. Welcome back. All right, guys, Blurt is where I give you the definition for 2 words, and the first person to tell me the correct word for either definition gets a point on the scoreboard. Up to 2 points can be handed out. The first definition: the opposite of black. The second definition: a small ball or tablet of medicine to be taken by mouth. White is correct. The opposite of black is white. The second definition: a small ball or tablet of medicine to be taken by mouth. Pill is correct. Pill is correct. I'm going to go ahead and see. The first person to say white on my screen was Anissa. The first person to say pill was Javier. Javier, you are at 33 points. I know you're trying to beat the record, the high score of 42. And just so you guys know, it looks like Hong Kong Phillip, even though I don't think he's here anymore, he still will be entered into the Hall of Champions if nobody surpasses Hong Kong Philip, who's not already in the Hall of Champions. And even if somebody's not here, they are still entered. You do not get disqualified just because life takes over and you maybe have to go eat or go to work or doing something like that. So, when you're on the scoreboard and when you're in the Hall of Fame, you don't leave. All right. We're going to do another round of blurt. Hey, Javier, you did beat your score. All right. We're going to give you guys the definition for 2 words, and the first person to give me the correct word for either definition will get a point on the scoreboard. The first definition, a playing card that has the picture of a young man on it. The second definition, a brass musical instrument that is shaped like a plate. Joker is not correct. Jack is correct. Good job, Richard. Oh, you are right, Richard. Javier is ahead of Phantom for today. Saucer is not correct. A brass musical instrument that is shaped like a plate. Oh, symbol is correct. I didn't even see it. Sometimes it's hard to see Javier's comments because of the blue and I've got dark mode on and stuff, but this is why I go back and check. Javier, you did say symbol first. All right, continuing on. All right, we're going to do 2 more rounds of blurt. All right, guys, for blurt, the first person to tell me the correct word for either of these definitions gets a point on this scoreboard. The first definition, someone who operates an aircraft or spacecraft. And the second definition, a small bed for a baby, usually set on rockers. Crib is not correct. Crib is not correct. Someone who operates an aircraft or spacecraft. And then a small bed for a baby, usually set on rockers. Pilot is correct. Anissa, you are going to get the point for pilot. Where are you, Anissa? It is not crib. It is cradle is correct. And who said cradle first? That would be Javier. All right, we're going to do one more round of blurt. The first definition, a dark underground prison. The second definition, an animal related to the spider that has a narrow body and a long tail with a poisonous stinger. The first definition, a dark underground prison. The second definition, an animal related to the spider that has a narrow body and a long tail with a poisonous stinger. Dungeon is correct. All right, Nisa, I believe you were the first person to say dungeon. And the next one was scorpion. Correct. Oh! Welcome to Sisters World. I'm going to add you to the leaderboard even though the stream is about to end. I'm still going to add you to the scoreboard. Welcome to the scoreboard. All right, guys, that the last game for today. So the stream is going to end in a few minutes after I announce everything. The scores for today's stream, Javier with 35 points, followed by Phantom with, followed by Hong Kong Philip, who is now the new champion, 25 points, and then Phantom with 23 points. All right, guys, I will be back in 1 hour from now. 1 hour from now, I will be back And I'm going to play this stream again. Okay. We have a couple people who are added to the Hall of Fame. Once your name enters, you will never leave. And I want to congratulate Hong Kong Philip. Even though he's not there, he still earned his spot into the Hall of Champions. Congratulations, Hong Kong. Hey, Hong Kong, you came back just in time for your celebration. Congratulations, Hong Kong, for making it to the Hall of Champions. I will update the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Champions after the stream. And before the next, congratulations. One person enters the Hall of Champion every single stream. You are back just in time for your celebration. I will give you guys a sound warning at this point of the stream. I'm not just going to pop all the balloons, and once the balloons are all popped, then the stream is going to end. You can listen to the nice warm music we start the stream with, and we end the stream with. Thank you everybody for playing. I will be playing at least one more time today, and I try to do this almost every single day. Congratulations again, Hong Kong Philip. Alright guys, I will be streaming at least one more time today. I'm going to be ending it for now, after I catch up with you guys real quick. Good game, everybody. Richard said, this whole channel is amazing, a good host, very entertaining and challenging. Thank you, Richard. I really appreciate that. Richard, I'm pretty confident you'll probably be up there one day. You were killing it the other night. You wish to be referred to as the wizard on the scoreboard, please. That is fine. Ram, I'm still figuring out my schedule for going live. I'm just doing a lot of trial and error as of right now. The wizard. You guys can always request a change in your name as well if you're in the Hall of Champions or on the Hall of Fame. Alright guys, I'll be back in 1 hour. I'll be streaming at least one more time tonight. I might stream 2 more. I'm not sure. Thank you guys for playing.